From the plantations of Kottayam to the skylines of Dubai, our guest journey proves that success grows when you nurture it with consistency and care. Thomas traded pepper and coffee plants for balance sheets and audits, but his roots remain as grounded as ever. Today, he helps businesses stay compliant and confident, all while singing, collecting cars, and serving tirelessly in BNI. Let's dive into his journey from numbers and notes to networks and nostalgia. Thomas, welcome back.
Thank you.
For those who think audits are only for big companies, who really needs an audit in UAE today?
Everyone in the UAE needs an audit because the commercial companies law in the UAE says that irrespective of the size of the company, every company has to have an audit. So there are no registrar of companies in the UAE to enforce this, but at some point of time, if somebody comes and asks you, where is your audit done? Where are your audited financial statements? Then you have no reason to say an excuse. So audit is mandatory irrespective of the size of the company, irrespective of how many owners you have or where you're located. Every company has to have an audit.
Why is it so important to work with an auditor like you, who has a dedicated team and an office instead of a freelancer or a part timer?
So I would say that if you have a permanent team, they're very well trained. They know what are the laws and the rules in the UAE. So they do the audits very well, and it is accurate. I would say the word is accurate.
With the new corporate tax rules in place, how has the role of auditing evolved and why is it more important now than ever?
So with the corporate tax in place, there are two basic requirements in terms of audit. So the first is every company who has a 50 million plus turnover has to have an audit report mandatory attached along with the tax returns. And in case of you are also a free zone company where you need to have an exemption from taxes, a 0% from taxes, in such cases also you need an audited financials to be attached along with your tax return.
What's one common myth or misconception about auditing that you wish people would stop believing?
So people always think that audit can be done last minute. I would say this has to be planned well in advance. Do it early, give it ample time so that you do it with the precision which is required.
You're a trained classical singer, not something we usually associate with auditors. How does that creative side help you stay calm and balanced during stressful audit seasons like last month?
Yeah. So everybody has had this time where you need something to move your focus from when it's too much of a stress. Maybe a humming or a two lines of song will take that stress away from you, and you can focus better on what you're doing when you have that stress in life.
You're also a car enthusiast with plans to restore and collect vintage cars from Japan. What sparked that passion and what's your dream project? Do you have one?
I think that's my retirement plan. I want to restore cars, vintage cars, and from Japan because they maintain cars very well. I've been a fan of cars since the time I can think of. So I've enjoyed sitting at a garage looking at how cars have been repaired. So I love this.
You come from a planter's family in Kottayam. You could have easily followed that path, managing farms and estates back home. If you had stayed a planter, how do you think life would have turned out? Any regrets, or are you glad you chose balance sheets over coffee beans?
I would say there are no regrets in life. I've learned something new, something completely different from what a planter does. And this, everybody needs a different perspective or a different look at life. And this is something that I've learned from auditing.
So you already have a backup plan if you go back.
Sort of, I would say yes.
That's not something most people have. So you're lucky. Okay, last month was undoubtedly one of the busiest of the year, with you and your team going that extra mile to ensure your clients sail smoothly through the tax season. How do you balance all that with home life, especially with Swimu and Tessa, Korean, and Miriam waiting at home? How do they keep you grounded and awake through it all?
The first big thanks would go to my team. They worked throughout day and night, irrespective of holidays. Everyone was fully involved in work. And also to Swimo, she's been a great support. So she managed, I told her very clearly that next 1 month is going to be challenging. But she said, no problem, finish your work and then we'll chill after that.
Thomas, you played almost every role in BNI, from visitor host to president, and somehow, whenever asked, you never say no. You're the guy who knows every rule, every procedure, and still manages to smile through it all. Now that I'm going to take over as president, we're going to hound you for your expertise. Tell me honestly, what keeps you always saying yes? And how has BNI further shaped that spirit of giving and growth in you?
So, BNI has 7 core values, and I think lifelong learning is the most important one of all. And when I get questioned, I learn, and that's what I tell others also. So, it's a process, and I'm enjoying this process, and that's something I'm happy to share as well in BNI.
So it's giver's gain for you.
It's give us gain, yes.
Okay, all right. We'll wrap up with our signature one. BNI for you is.
BNI starts with business, but then ends up as a family. So, I think for everyone that we are in BNI, it is always the family.
From counting coconuts to counting companies, what a journey, Thomas. You have shown us that whether it's audits, melodies, or motors, passion drives everything you do. Thank you for keeping your cool through chaos and for saying yes to all of us, even when you probably should have said no once a while. You're one of those rare members who always gives wholeheartedly, stays calm when deadline goes wild, and somehow still finds time to help everyone else. We are truly lucky to have you as part of the BNI Early Birds family. And this was Thomas with his stories from the nest, voice of Early Birds. Real journey, real connections, real business. Stay tuned for more stories from our members. Thank you.